Anyway, so what are we going to work on today? So, yeah, what
I mean, for me, I am always, always happy to connect with my guides. Um,
uh,
and so something as simple as that and my higher self, just continue to open those channels is what makes me very happy.
yeah, exactly. Oh, and you're so good at it too.
Well, the thing is, I like it, right? So I love this work because it feels good. I want to have those experiences. So I'm eager to go for it always.
Yeah, exactly. So would there be specific questions or a result that you would like to have out of this communication? I gotta
Well, one of the things I recently, as you know, I do some other kinds of healing work as well. And um, so I work with this woman. I've worked with her for quite a number of years, probably 10 or 12 years. And we've been working on some struggles that have been taking place in my office at the university work.
Mhm.
And one of the things that we uncovered for me is that the channel between so when I'm doing regression work, I have the easiest access to my guides. It
Mhm.
is the number one way that I personally can make that connection. And even when I offer this work to others, it's not that I'm having the connection, but I can almost feel more of the connection.
So,
And one of the things she asked me is, can you, when you're in meditation, because I'm a dedicated meditator, can you make that connection? And I said, I can do it with my mind, but I can't feel it in my heart. And I said, I can only feel it when I receive regression work, because I'm having the experience. And one of the things that got channeled to me is that from this lifetime and probably many lifetimes on this earth, it doesn't feel safe for me to let my heart hang open.
mhm.
And that, of course, is the way that we make those connections, that channeling connection, that to the guides, to our higher self, even. So, something around that, I'm ready to just let that story go
Mhm.
so that then I can have that continuous flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you don't feel safe opening your heart now in a specific period or this lifetime?
I mean, I would tell you it's not something I would have consciously said. I feel like I do have an open heart, but what was shared with me was because you don't feel safe on this planet.
Okay.
Maybe they said from this lifetime, your parental upbringing, and then also from many other times. So that's why that channel isn't as consciously open for you because
Hmm.
you're protecting, um, which is interesting because I would say, no, that's not true. That's not true. And I don't choose that. But there must be something true to it because I cannot feel like, for instance, you and I did a session where just this last time where I traveled to this really beautiful, peaceful, serene planet.
Mhm.
And this person I was working with said, can you do that again? And I said, yes, I can do it through my mind, but I
Mhm.
can't feel what I felt.
More like you can remember it or you can make it up according to memory, but not like immerse yourself into it.
Yeah, I can't feel the feeling state. So
Yeah.
that's I there is something in that. I don't know exactly what it is.
Okay. Well, let's go see if we can figure that out.
Yeah.
What's the barrier or,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
needs.
Okay. I'll just get myself lying in this.
Yeah, get comfy.
It's nice to have a guest room to do things like this and
Yeah.
no guests.
Yeah. No guess. I guess not.
I think
Okay.
that's good. Do you?
I can see you, yeah.
Okay.
So laying back and taking a nice breath and feeling the bed supporting you fully so that you can just really let go of your muscles, any tension in your body. Relaxing and imagining a ball of light at your feet, glistening and shining and radiating. And as that ball of light begins to move up along your body, it gathers up the perceptions and the sensations, leaving behind a completely relaxed body as it moves up along your legs, your thighs, now across your torso, opening your chakras, balancing your energies. That ball of light continuing up across your throat and right up into the center of your forehead, into the third eye. The third eye energizing and expanding, and the energy flowing through the third eye, through the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, making a connection. And now expanding that connection and feeling the flow. And as you continue to relax and as your third eye continues to open, I invite you to imagine your favorite safe space, that place of relaxation, protection, and connection. And as you find yourself in your safe space now, how would you describe your safe space to me?
So today my space is it's a little wintry or fallish. So there's all these trees around and the leaves have fallen and the air is very crispy. And there's grass and there's this creek, of course, right there for me always. I can hear all the birds. I'm just there on my deck. It's very peaceful.
Nice. And as you look around in this space now, you realize that there is a gift that has been left there, a gift of empowerment to bring you certain traits and characteristics that will be so valuable for you today. And as you locate this gift and take it into your hands, what is it?
Well, it's interesting because what I immediately see is just beyond my deck there, there's a kind of a bricked fire pit, and there's actually a fire in that pit, and I am standing there watching this fire. It's flickering, very alive. I can see the flames moving around.
And if that is your empowerment gift, what energy does that bring to you to connect with that fire?
My immediate sense is kind of just bringing that fire right inside my belly.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah, so it's very, very hot fire. And the flames are very sparkly and alive. It's sort of bringing that in.
And so, how does that affect you when you have that flame inside of you now?
Well, I can feel it. I'm actually feeling the energy all the way up into my face, through my hands. It's just this pulsing heat. Um, that's the sensation I'm having. It's kind of waves of we could almost call them like a heat flash, a heat,
Hmm.
yeah.
Uh-huh. And so if this were some magical tool that you could use to your benefit, how would you use this flame? Like what is this energy for?
My inclination always is to travel beyond this earth. Um, so immediately as I feel that energy in my body, it's almost like I can turn into a rocket and I can fly. I can move with that, using that energy to move myself up into the heavens. And so right now I'm kind of using that energy and flying.
Okay.
I'm just in the clouds there, but
Uh-huh.
it's really rather fun for me right now. I
Yeah.
feel this rocket moving around.
Yeah. So what do you notice about that experience flying in the clouds?
It's really fun. It's sort of I have this sensation of being a kid again.
And what would be the value to you of having this kid-like energy and fun?
Maybe just enjoyment, enjoying life, enjoying from a kid place, that freshness
Mhm.
and just a lot lighter. It's playful. There's a lot of play energy in it.
Okay. And let's just go on a story here. Let Tell me a story from starting with you flying in the clouds. And so if that just went on like a movie you've never seen before, if you just kept moving through that scene, what would happen next?
So I'm flying there, just playing, watching. Can't really see the specifics because I'm going and flying around so fast. So I slow down and I kind of start walking now. I'm on kind of this grassy, hilly place. And it's not like I got off a rocket or anything. It's almost like I became that rocket and now I'm back to my humanness.
Mhm.
So I'm like a transformer, I guess. But I'm just walking on this very hilly little grassy area, up and down over these hills. Again, it's the energy of that kid energy of playfulness, curiosity, and I'm kind of walking up and down these hills, and the hills are so steep that now I'm rolling down the hill like a kid would do, and just kind of laughing. And so now I'm sitting at the base of the hill. I've rolled down, just sitting at the base of that hill and just enjoying that sensation of the lightness.
And does anything else happen, or is that the end of that part of the story?
It's very easy for me now to see like a picnic blanket. I'm just resting there. Again, just that sensation of easiness.
Hmm. And would you like to ask your guides to join you there?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm waiting now for
Okay.
one of them to show up.
And moving ahead to the time when they do appear. And who shows up for you?
He's sort of in and out, so I can sense him, I can see, but not fully, but he's there. He's one of my primary guides that I know that he walks with me. I often, he has a name, I call him Sequoia. Um, it's more that I'm feeling his energy there. It kind of morphs in and out of being kind of a man and then an energy and then a man. And so
So,
he's there.
yeah, and you could just imagine that he's behind you, so you don't have to worry about
Mhm.
actually seeing him. You could sense him in other ways.
Yeah, that's nice. Takes the pressure off.
Right. So if you were sitting with a friend, you'd know they were there and you can communicate, but you don't have to be, examining them with your eyes or anything.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so there you are together. And what is that energy or what are you noticing next?
Well, as soon as you gave permission, he's sitting behind me. I'm actually laying right now in his legs. It's
Mhm.
kind of, he's sitting cross-legged and I'm just laying there with my head in his lap. And he's kind of embracing, holding me. Um, so that's just a nice feeling that connection with him.
Mhm. Okay. And does he have any words of wisdom for you?
I mean, what I'm getting is we're always connected. We're always connected.
And I'd like to ask him to share with you um, what happens when you're trying to access him or your higher self outside of regression work, when you're trying to do it in your meditation or in your everyday life. Can he demonstrate to you or tell you what is happening in that regard?
You know, what I get right away is he's trying to show me that I am trying to make the connection in a
Uh,
human way. And that's not the avenue. It's not the way to make that connection. So I keep trying to do it in a human experience.
okay.
It's like I need to shift into a different way of operating.
Hmm.
It's in the spirit realm. He's kind of showing me it's very easy, but it's a different way of connecting. Um, so I'm trying to connect using my physical human experience, either through my eyes or the touch.
Hmm.
And he's trying to show me it's not in that realm at all, this connection. It's interesting. I don't have an answer here except what's happening right now is the way, the connection that we're having right now. So it's something to do with
Okay.
turning off that human, those senses that we have.
Ask him if it has to do with frequency.
Yes, it's definitely
Like raising or lowering your frequency to match his. Or
matching. Did you say matching?
yeah, to match his. So somewhere between, like he's vibrating at a different frequency simply because he's not physical and he resides in a different dimensionality. So there's a different frequency, and then you have your frequency here. And somehow these two need to meet up, right? Which is what you can obviously do when you slow your brainwave frequencies down during meditation, or in this case, hypnotherapy during regression. So,
Definitely, what I'm getting very strongly is the rational mind is the block. So
okay,
if I indulge in anything around the mind, I won't have access. So that's got to be a frequency of the rational mind.
okay,
So if I could let go, so as the thought comes up or the expectations come up, it's like I have to let it, I can't indulge it. And the mind wants to be indulged. It likes spinning through things over and over and over.
right. So, what is he suggesting or demonstrating in that regard? How do you do that? Is it just getting rid of your to-do list, that sort of thing, or your rational attempt at connecting?
Yeah, it's some kind of, I think what he's showing me is just practice. It's instead of indulging the mind who wants to regurgitate problems, go back through things, fix things, ask questions over and over and over. He's showing if you just drop that. So when it comes up, drop it. So you can get to this state of calm, quiet mind.
Mhm.
Then the
So,
connection is there.
is it like, today or whenever we have our sessions, um, there's an appointment and there's an hour that's set aside where you're focused here. And so if you did that when you were meditating or in, other parts of your life when you want to connect, do you make that same appointment? Do you make that same time, make space for that time of checking out of the world?
What's interesting, what I keep noticing is that because I meditate regularly every day, and I'm noticing that I'm holding this story that I don't get to these places on my own.
Mm,
So there's some peace. Like if I'm doing the driving because I'm by myself, indulge the mind. I let that mind do what it does.
So what would he say about that? The story that you need someone else?
So it, as I lie here, he's kind of stroking the soft hairs on my forehead, and he's just chuckling and he's saying, you can do this. You have to just do it. You have to just commit to not indulging. I mean, he's sort of indicating like that the mind will do it no matter what. That's kind of the human experience.
Hmm.
And so if you have to sort of practice harnessing that human experience so that you can access this realm.
Okay. So how do you imagine doing that? Actually, one way you could do this is you could have him take you for a walk now. And through the walk, the story that unfolds, he can demonstrate to you some things. And so what do you notice next?
Well, I mean, I'm definitely on a walk with him right now, and what he's showing me, so we're coming up, there's this little creek right here, and we can hear the birds. And there's a waterfall, and truly what I'm getting is to just really, really allow myself to be present in this natural world experience. Just be present. There's nowhere else to be but in that experience. It's very, very easy in this state to be 100% present.
Hmm. And so when you notice that state, like what is it that you're feeling? What's different about this state than when you're in your everyday life or when you're attempting to do this on your own?
For me, it's so easy. There's just this inner peace. There's no noise that isn't sweet, the bird sounds, the breezes in the trees. There's no mental chatter. It's just this ease, and I'm not thinking about work, redoing things, reliving scenarios, fixing things. It's just 100% present in the moment. And it's really, truly for me, kind of like when I was a kid, really. That 4 or 5 year old that's walking outside in the grasses and just right there in the moment. So that's the feeling state is 100% present, quiet inside.
And so what happens next in your story?
So from that place, so now I'm sitting down by this creek. There's a waterfall there. He's on the other side of the creek. It's very narrow though, so we're not far apart. And now I'm looking into the waterfall, and the sense I get is when you get to this quiet place, this is when the magic can show up. So he's kind of playing with me and kind of making things up here in the waterfall. So he just showed me a Native American with a shield, kind of popping their head around the waterfall and then going back in, kind of laughing.
Uh-huh.
So the sense that I get when you get to this quiet state, that's when all the magic can appear. Or maybe it's when I can see it. Maybe it's always there. So he's just continuing to sort of make that waterfall come alive with different shimmering things, and he's laughing a lot. Not at me, just showing me how light and easy it all is.
Uh-huh. Does it help to look at the motion of the waterfall? Is that mesmerizing, for instance?
It's definitely mesmerizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the water is falling over. There's shimmering white, crystally light coming out of it as it moves.
Would that be something you could do in your everyday life, where you could look at something that's just having a lot of motion, um, like the flames of fire,
Hmm.
candle flame, a bonfire, a waterfall?
Yeah, I think so. That could help me to get to that
Mhm,
quieter state inside.
mhm. Like gazing into a waterfall or I'm sorry, a crystal ball.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
that's exactly the
like scrying.
vision. Hmm.
Yeah.
Again, he's just kind of showing me the mind will go after stories and activity. And so this is a way to kind of bypass it because the mind is in the realm of the human experience. And what I'm longing to do is connect outside of that experience. Almost get the sense like they're operating right in parallel. They're right there next to each other.
The two minds, you mean?
There's the mind, and then there's the spiritual or spirit world where he is. So maybe we could talk about vibration or frequency or
Mhm.
but they're right there operating right at the same space, right next to each other. It's where you put your attention to.
Mhm.
I think the sense I'm also getting, I keep trying to control the mind so much in my meditation. And he's almost showing me you don't even put energy there. Put your energy over here.
Right.
Because the mind is going to keep doing it. If you're trying to control it, it's like you're trying to control a horse that needs, wants to run, a stallion.
Mhm.
So all your attention is going then to the stallion.
Right.
Yeah, that's really, I think, the message.
Yeah. Rather than fighting all the thoughts, you just put your attention to something else like the waterfall.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk to him about or have him show you? Any more words of wisdom he can share?
Well, I just asked him what's behind the waterfall. And he's now taking me, he's just showing me this beautiful, expansive land. And it looks very much like what would be a stereotypical Native American village. Um, so I'm seeing a bunch of teepees there, and again, that beautiful stream running through, and there's fires, and he's just kind of showing me like this peaceful energy of um, being connected to the land, being, yeah, being very connected and in sync with the land.
Anything else you want to experience before we close?
You know, I just want to say I've gone into one of those teepees,
Oh, okay.
and
Covered.
we're just sitting in there. The energy of others is there. And it's just a very sweet energy of chanting and being in circle together. The sense I get, he's just showing me this experience is right here as well. This connection.
And would chanting be another way for you to focus your mind?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And is there anything else you notice?
Well, like most times that I have these experiences, what I notice is I don't want to leave.
Okay.
So it's just that state, such a lovely state of connectedness to the community and connectedness to the land, and that inner state of quiet.
Mm-hmm.
There's no critic.
Yeah,
That's
nice.
what I'm noticing, that the critic isn't in this arena.
Okay. And do you feel that we've achieved your goal today? Have you come away with something valuable?
Yeah, absolutely. I see that I've been given a reminder to work, to practice going to the quieter state. And I have a couple of tools that I can use to, I mean, really honestly, to bypass the mental processing. But I also see that I had fallen in the trap of trying to control the mental processing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not the way to access this calmer, quieter state. So, yes, absolutely.
Excellent. And so, since you're a good experiencer, would you like me to leave you in this state and allow you to bring
Yes,
yourself back out? On?
yes. Thank you.
Okay, good. I will simply disconnect and you have a pleasant rest of your journey.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, bye bye.